There's now a sequence of halachot that deals with what types of wicks or oils are preferred or are not preferred or allowed to be used for Chanukah. They get a little in detail, but just to touch upon it very briefly, the overview of it, when it comes to lighting Chanukah candles, all oils and all wicks would be kosher to light the Chanukah candle with. While even though there are some oils that shine brighter than others, Halacha explains that Kol hashemanim v'petilot ksherim l'adlakat nerot Chanukah. All of them are allowed. Now, why? So the idea is behind this, it's not like Shabbat candles, because Shabbat candles, we've explained before, the purpose of them is to give off light, and for us, in one way or another, to derive benefit and pleasure from that light. So by Shabbat candles, there's a discussion, what's allowed, what's not allowed, because it needs to give off the most proper and the best light. By Chanukah candles, we say we don't use them. It's ela leorah bilvad, just for the light of it. So therefore, any type of candle that gives off light is allowed. Now we all know that olive oil, shemen zayit, is mitzvah v'namuchar, is the most preferred and ideal way to light your Chanukah candles. Why? Because when it comes to olive oil, it's the most clear and preferred, and the fire shines the brightest from all types of flames or candles that they can use. The Ramah brings minhag that anywhere that in a place where they didn't have olive oil, they would use wax. According to Rav Ovadia, all oils are preferred over a wax candle. But again, even a wax candle is okay as long as it gives off light. But ideally, we want to use olive oil, shemen zayit. Now, just to jump to something more nogea, what about electricity? Can you fulfill your mitzvah with lighting an electric lamp? Many people, they have those screw-ons that it's plugged in. Every night you add one for Pismei Nisa. Does that count? So Halacha explains, En yotzin yedei chovat hadlakat nerot Chanukah be'or hachashmal. You do not fulfill your mitzvah of nerot Chanukah using electricity. Why? Because there is an idea, there's an inyan, that there has to be both oil and a wick. Why? Because in the Beit HaMikdash, the menorah was lit with a fire that was made of oil and the wick. So you want to commemorate how the mitzvah was done in the Beit HaMikdash. Zecher lanes. Similarly, if I turn on the gas stovetop every night, you don't feel the mitzvah because that's just gas. There needs to be oil and flame. Now, what about if you're on a train or something? So he brings this halacha. If I'm stuck with nothing, no oil, no wax, traveling in the middle of nowhere, I don't know why. I only have electricity. Rav Ovadia says that if you're stuck and you have no alternative, then you may use the electricity to light, but you have to make sure that people know that that's for Chanukah and not just regular light in your house. And B, don't make a beracha. Why? Because many poskim bring down that electricity doesn't work. So if you make a bracha, it's a threat of, God forbid, bracha lebatala. V'chen hatas b'matos or noseh b'rekevet ve'eno afsharut le'adlik et nerot Chanukah b'shem v'shava. Similarly, someone who's traveling on a train or flying and he's trapped the entire night and he doesn't have the opportunity to light the Chanukah candles. Tov she'adlik penas chashmali b'li beracha. It's good for him to light a flashlight that's obviously made from battery without a beracha, just to commemorate the miracle. And if eventually someone gets a house or a place where he can light with wax or with oil, a proper fire, he can do so even with a beracha, because electricity doesn't fill the mitzvah whatsoever. Have a wonderful day and Shabbat Shalom.